Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 31 of the Pokemon Cup Series. Today we're here at Twin Ring Motegi in Japan for the running of the Pokemon I Choose You 500. It is the season finale, the regular season finale for Season 31 and also the World Tour 31 finale. So a lot is on the line, a lot of playoff spots are on the line here today. We already know a handful of drivers are locked in the playoffs by wins or points. Well, all of them have at least one. All the drivers in the playoffs will have at least one win this season, but they'll be decided on points. But the rest of the fields are decided on points. And right now, Joshua Sakali is the one that's watching out for another potential winner that could bump him out of playoff contention, or maybe even the drivers that are behind him. Alex Hawkins, Alexander Rowe, and Eli Bright. They're all looking to try to win and get into the playoffs. Hawkins is just 2 points back of Sakali. And we could see other drivers in the playoffs knocked out if one other driver without a win prior to this race gets a win here today at Motegi, and that would lock him or her into the playoffs as well. And also the regular season title is on the line as well. So because I still have the points here, I'm using my laptop again. I will determine a regular season title champion and who's going to get the bonus playoff points going into the Pokemon playoffs coming up next week. So here we go. On the poll, we have O'Neal Balvin in the 27, who's also looking to win and get in basically for him, possibly. And there's Diego Yepes on the front row as well. Both are non-winners this season, both looking to possibly get into the playoffs with a win. Maxwell Smart and Philip Goldberg in row 2, all Joe Gibbs. By the way, Philip Goldberg already is already locked into the playoffs by getting 2 wins this season, so he doesn't have to worry about where he finishes here today. But if he gets his 3rd win, he'll tie with Josh Crash and Eric Martinez for the most wins in the regular season and could get the most playoff points out of that. So another win would probably tie him for the number 1 seed in the playoffs and possibly a little bit of a more cushion, a little bit of a bigger cushion for him to advance to the Final Four. And then there's Anthony Lopez and Ryan Acosta in row 3. Acosta already in the playoffs with 1 win, but another win would boost his chances up to advance further. And Maxwell Smart, the only one of the Joe Gibbs cars that has not won yet this season, looks to win here today. Max Skinner and Jonathan Fast in row 4, I believe. Skinner is in a 1-race deal with the 96 car. As you know, the ex-drivers are using that 96 car today for the Cup race. For every Cup race this season. So Skinner, it's his turn to race back here again. He's back in the Cup Series for a 1-race deal at this track. And Jonathan Fast is in row 4 as well. Fast already has 2 wins this season. A 3rd would get him locked in as the number 1 seed, tied with the number 1 seed in the playoffs, and possibly a bigger cushion for him to advance further. And rounding out the top 10 are Patrick Smith and Johnny Gardner. Gardner, by the way, is actually the points leader here coming into Motegi. If he does get a good finish, he could potentially be your regular season champion. And that comes with a lot of playoff point bonuses with that. So Gardner hopes to keep his regular season title hopes alive here today. And Patrick Smith already has 1 win this season. So Smith getting another win would make him a 2-time winner and get him a little bit more of a cushion for him to advance even further. So the drivers to watch out for: Joshua Sakali, and there you see the 13 car starting in the back, I should say. So he's going to have to really work his way up to the front here today in order to keep his playoff spot alive. And then there's Alex Hawkins, who's 2 points behind Sakali for that final playoff spot. Hawkins right now actually starting even lower than the 13 of Sakali, believe it or not. So he's going to have an even harder battle to go up in the front than the 13 does. And another one is Eli Bright, who just needs to win to get in, basically. All he could do is just win and get himself in the playoffs and knock Sakali out. That's the only way he probably could knock Sakali out. Or who knows, Igor Barreto could be knocked out as well. There he is in the 33 way in the back. Or maybe even James Richardson could be knocked out of the playoffs. You never know. One of these three could be knocked out of the playoffs after this race in Twin Ring Motegi. So, and a lot of other non-winners could knock Sakuli out of the playoffs as well with the win of their own. So, there's also that possibility happening here today at Motegi. So now here we go. Cars roll off the track. We're about to get underway here in the Pokemon the Movie I Choose You 500, the regular season finale here in the Pokemon Cup Series for Season 31. There's the cars rolling off. Motegi's been one of the most popular tracks on the schedule. Really fast, really tight, a lot of unpredictable crashes have happened here before. And what better way to decide who's the regular season crown title holder and the playoff drivers in with this track. It'll be a 32 lap duel to see who gets in the playoffs. And a lot is on the line here today. Will O'Neal Balvin win and possibly get in the playoffs? We're about to find out with the green flag. Here we go. The green flag waves here in the I Choose You 500. Already 3 wide. Maxwell Smart gonna go for the race lead. There's a spin already. Oh boy. Yin Canario just spun out to start the race. Wow. Oh, there could be a mess here. Oh boy. Patrick Smith has just spun around. Patrick Smith has just crashed. 2 cars have spun already on the first lap of the race. Patrick Smith and Yin Canario. Both really would have wanted to have an extra win. They both have a win this season, possibly in the playoffs, definitely on points, but they would have loved to add that second win to give them a bigger cushion. Probably not going to happen for those two today. But thankfully, all those other competitors we mentioned are still alive after that first lap chaos, which only had 2 cars out. Well, Patrick Smith's out of the race, and everybody else is back, so only 1 car retired after that incident. Maxwell Smart leads the field right now, and I believe he's the only one of the Joe Gibbs cars that has not won this season, so Smart would love to win, and maybe, just maybe, that win would be enough for him to get in the playoffs. We can only find out after the race when the points are all added up. Green flag is back here in Motegi. O'Neal Balvin for 3rd place. Here comes Jonathan Fast. He was our winner at Rockingham, so he's looking to win back-to-back races and possibly be a 3-time winner, tying in with the most wins this season. And those 3 would be the ones to look out for in the championship run. Here comes Balvin down low. A little bumper-to-bumper action there. Is the caution out again? It is, and there's a pileup. Matthew Mdev has just spun out. Matthew Mdev has just been taken out in the number 2. Was way deep in the field. He hit Eli Bride, and it doesn't look like with that kind of incident, Eli Bride's going to be a contender here in the playoffs. He was already deep in the field and getting a car wrecked in his face, and that's not going to help him out at all. I don't know what these guys are doing. Sure, it's going to be a fight in the back there. It's going to be a real fight. So Fast continues to lead. Well, Jonathan Fast just took the lead on the restart, believe it or not. And now pit stops. Everybody just took their stops, and it appears O'Neal Balvin just stayed out. Or he might have pitted early. I'm not too sure. Well, they all took their pit stops already, and it doesn't look... Well, we might get one more stop possibly in this race. The green flag is in the air. O'Neal Balvin leads the field. Back to green. Fast is 2nd, and Smart is 3rd. Look at Johnny Garner make his way to the top 5. Now he wants to 4th position. Oh, he's slowing down. Top 2 slow down, and now they're crashing. Fitzwater just spun in a big pileup. Goldberg just spun Christian Parker around as handful of cars were pitting. Under the green, Max Skinner wrecks. Oh my goodness, another twist here today at the regular season finale. Another wreck, and this one is the biggest of them all. Oh man. At least Maxwell Smart retook the lead, but it's probably not the way he wanted it. Goldberg's out, Roy's out, Navarro's out. He's going to come pit road, by the way, and so, wow, this is going to really jumble up the field for now. It's going to jumble the field up, and it looks like Johnny Gardner is your new leader after pit stops, like drivers in and out. It's been a lot of pit stops going in and out and around. 6 cars are out of the race. Fitzwater, Duthit, Navarro, Roy, Goldberg, Smith. Not real names to look out for the playoff, to be playoff contenders other than Goldberg with those 2 wins, but he's already locked in, so Goldberg's already locked in. And now we're back to the green. And Johnny Garner off to a good start. How about that? He just zoomed by. The last 2 winners have been him and Fast. If Gardner wins, he will be your regular season champion, no doubt about it. And his final Pokemon Cup season, he would love to get his 3rd championship. One of few drivers to win 2 or more titles in the Pokemon Cup series. He really wants to go out on top. Alexander Rowe now takes 3rd place from Ryan Casey. And another caution. Oh, Philip Parker. What happened to him, and why were they pitting again? This is so weird. They're pitting again in the back. I could have sworn they were pitting under caution, but I don't know what they are doing. This has been a pit stop kind of race. Goldberg crashed down, and that brought the caution out. Oh man, this has been a mess of a race here at Motegi, but at least the final couple laps are sure going to be really, really packed up. As everybody's trying to get that win to get in the playoffs, possibly. It's going to be a nightmare. Green flag in the air. Back again with 12 to go. As Jake Jefferson looks low for the lead. He doesn't have enough distance yet. Oh, here it comes. He might have enough here. Oh, not quite there. Johnny Garner gets the better run there. And now Ryan Casey for 3rd place. And Casey gets that lead, gets the 3rd position away. Oh, wow. It looks like Jefferson's going to try harder again. If he gets in. If he wins, he might get in the playoffs, probably. He would love to win and hope that he has enough points to get in the playoffs. And that would be trouble for Saculli and others, who, by the way, are on pit road stuck. And, yeah, Saculli not having a good race, so this might not help him at all. I think Hawkins might be ahead of him. And I think he is. So Hawkins might have overtaken the 13. Oh, no, he's 33rd. I'm sorry, he's retired. What an interesting twist. And Saculli looks like he might be safe in that final spot for now. But if another driver wins, it might not be the case. We can only find out at the end when we add up the points. Only time will tell. Is Saculli going to stay alive in the playoffs, or will there be another winner in the playoffs at the last second? 9 laps to go for Johnny Gardner. Gardner trying to win for the 2nd time in the last 3 races. More importantly, get himself locked in the playoffs and win that regular season title. Get those bonus playoff points to boost up his chances of getting in that Final 4 to start off the playoffs. Possible lap traffic ahead. Eric Martinez just came off pit road. Oh man, it's going to be close, and Johnny Gardner just went by him. Look at Diego Yepes. He's taking a chance on that low line. But he might not get that dirty. He might not get that clean air. Bumper to bumper. And oh, Martinez just fought back and now he's open. Wide open. Could have sworn there was a caution. No, there's no caution. And now the lead is wide open. Here comes Yepes and he gets it. Yepes leading. Diego Yepes, could he be in? Could he make the playoffs with a win? He's got to get through lap traffic though. 6 to go at Motegi. Chandler Caudell up to 3rd place. In a low position in terms of points. A second win would definitely get him in the playoffs. Another winner this season is Caudell. So he could get in. And Roll, by the way, is also a winner. And he really needs to win this race to get in. And he's going to pit. Oh, man, he's pitting. And this could be a sign that pit stops could decide who wins. Remember what happened last time with all the pit stop craziness. Johnny Gardner for the lead. Here he comes with 5 to go. Caudell up to 3rd place. Can he find an open lane? Gardner leading. Down the low line. Is Gardner going to pit? He will. Oh, man. Look at all these cars pitting. It's going to be down to pit stops. And the leader is Chandler Caudell. Caudell leading. Will he stretch it? Does he have enough fuel? Will anybody take a chance in the final laps to possibly make it in the playoffs? Caudell goes by Bright. And drivers coming out safely pit road for now. Caudell's coming in. He's going to come in the pit road. And now with 3 to go, what's going to happen? Well, we don't know what's going to happen, honestly. Could be anything. Anything could happen right now in these final 3 laps. And the 42's out. 42's away. And he's off pit road. He gets the lead. Oh, wait. Richardson was the leader. Now he's on pit road. And it looks like Steve Morgan ahead of him. Is he a lap down? He is. Wow. That's lame. Is Rowe going to get around him? I think Rowe just went around him for the lead. I think that was for the lead. Alexander Rowe wins. He's in the playoffs. Well, he already has a win. If he gets it, it would be his 2nd win. And all of a sudden, he'd be a top 5 contender for the playoffs if he wins. 2 laps to go for Alexander Rowe, I think. And yes, I'm right. Alexander Rowe leads. Rowe was looking out of the playoffs despite 1 win, but if he gets another, he's in the playoffs for sure. And Sakali could be knocked out. Johnny Garner's back. He had a very bad pit stop. Something that he didn't like. And he's going to lose his chance at a win. White flag in the air for Alexander Rowe with 1 to go. In the regular season finale. We stay green. Rowe leads. Can he hold on? Ryan Casey up to 2nd. Rowe let the 4 go. I don't know if it's going to help him out. Excuse me. Here we go down the final turn. And Alexander Rowe is going to do it. He's going to get his 2nd win of the season. And he's going to be a playoff contender here today at Twin Ring Motegi. Alexander Rowe, his 2nd win of the season. He was looking out of the playoffs early on. And now he gets his 2nd win. All of a sudden, he's a top 5 playoff contender. What a turnaround. Alexander Rowe is in the playoffs. Wow. But anyway, Alexander Rowe's your winner for the 2nd time this season. How about that? Alexander Rowe makes his way in the playoffs with his 2nd win of the season, and we don't know who's going to be knocked out. So we'll add up the points and see who's in and who's not. So here goes nothing. We're gonna reveal the playoff drivers right now, and let's join Alexander Rowe in victory lane as he wins for the second time this season here at Twin Ring Motegi. Incredible win for the 48. He's locked in the playoffs, and now let's reveal the 16 drivers that'll be playoff contenders here in season 31. Alrighty guys, here is the playoff picture and the final regular season point standings. The playoffs on the left and the points on the right. And in a shocking twist, Jonathan Fast is your regular season champion. Johnny Garner came in with the lead here in Motegi with the regular season points lead, but that ended up changing and it went to Jonathan Fast. Very, very surprising. And I was surprised myself too. But Jonathan Fast is your regular season champion on a 2-point margin over Diego Yepes. Yepes did not have a win, so he didn't get in the playoffs. If Yepes had won the regular season title, he would have been in the playoffs for sure. But he just came up just short. He needed to win or get the regular season title to win and get in, and he just missed it by just 2 points. And he had the lead at one point of the race too, so he could have won. And that was so interesting about it. That race was really had a lot on the line here today. But one thing that did remain true was that Joshua Siculi was knocked out of the playoffs and is eliminated on that race because of the win by Alexander Rowe. He was out of the playoffs going into Motegi, and now he's back in. And he stays in there because he had that second win of the season. And that boosted him up and made him a 2-time winner and made him a lock into the playoffs, knocking Siculi out of contention. Alex Hawkins and Eli Bright also miss out on being in the playoffs. And the negatives you see next to their names, well, that's the margin between them and the final spot that went to James Richardson. And Chandler Caudell, Igor Barreto, Cody Smart all went in a tie, but Richardson, you'll see on the standings right here, he was the lowest among the drivers in the playoffs and made it in just barely. There's the regular season results on the right of your screen, and here's the rest of the points. Richardson was 28th, and he was just 2 points ahead of 3 points ahead of Joshua Siculi for that final playoff spot. Hawkins was also looking out and eliminated, and Eli Bright was a long shot anyway going in. He did however cut down on the margin he had before, but it still wasn't enough. It was a small consolation, but those three still have 1 win this season, and they should be proud of that. Siculi, Hawkins, Bright all have 1 win. They should be proud of just getting a single win in the series. So, congrats to them, and sorry we couldn't fit them in the playoffs this season. But anyway, let's look on the left right now. Let's focus on the playoff points that are given for each and every driver. All 16 of them. They each get 1,000 points for every driver for every round. Every new round they get every 3 races where there's a new round starting. All the remaining playoff drivers get 1,000 points. Since it's the start of the playoffs, all 16 drivers get 1,000 points, playoff points to start off, and then the bottom 4 are eliminated after 3 races, and we will go down to 12, and those 12 drivers will get another 1,000 points, and then after 3 races we eliminate 4, be down to 8, and those 8 get another 1,000 points, and then the bottom 4 eliminated, and the final 4 compete for the title at Joltis. No points, just the highest finisher from the 4 will become your champion for the Cup Series. And the same rules apply for the X Series and Truck Series. And these points rules will apply there as well. So, in every round, the remaining playoff drivers get 1,000 points each. Before the start of every new round, the remaining playoff drivers, that applies to all 3 series. They get 5 bonus points for every win they acquired in the regular season. So, a win is 5 playoff points for them, since there's no 1 point stage points whatever. There's no stages there are no stages in our races now. So those are the only other ways to get the points other than getting 1,000 points to start off in the playoffs and the regular season point totals, which I'll get to in a little bit. But each driver gets 5 points for every win they get that got him into the playoffs in the first place. So Jonathan Fast, for example, 2 wins, he got 5 points each. For those 2 wins, he got 10 bonus points to use in the playoffs. Josh Crash and Eric Martinez had 3 wins, so they got 15 playoff points for 5 points for every win. And Philip Goldberg and Alexander Rowe with 2 wins, they got 5 points from each of them, and they get 10 bonus points in the playoffs. And the rest have 1 win this season. They got the 5-point bonus for the playoffs as well. And finally, let's get to regular season points. Wherever they finished in the regular season among the playoff drivers, only the top 10 highest finishing playoff drivers in points in the regular season points will get even more bonus points for them in the playoffs. Since Jonathan Fast was regular season champion, he gets another 15 playoff points on top of the 1,000 points he gets he gets already, and the 10 points he got from getting 2 wins this season. So he has 1,025 points, and he's your number 1 seed in the playoffs. And there's Josh Crash as well. He had the 3rd highest points among the playoff drivers in the regular season. He got 8 points on top of his 15 bonus points and 1,000 points already, and he has 1,023 points to start off the playoffs. Eric Martinez, he only has those 3 wins. He was outside the top 10 among the playoff drivers in points, so he didn't get a bonus. But Philip Goldberg got a bonus for being 6th highest among the playoff drivers in points. He got 5. And then Johnny Gardner was 2nd highest among playoff drivers. He got 10. Steve Morgan was 4th highest. He got 7. Ian Canario was 5th highest. He got 6. Christian Parker was 7th highest. He got 4. Patrick Smith was 8th highest. He got 3 points. 3. Ryan Acosta got 2 playoff points for being 9th in the regular season points among the playoff drivers, the 9th highest driver in points among the playoff drivers. And Philip Parker got 1 point for being in 10th. I can recall, I did get him in every order just to make sure. As you know, Robert Smith got 2 wins this season, but as you know, his wins were encumbered for because he spoiled both of those races, and he unfortunately that ended up costing him a spot in the playoffs. So I believe Richardson would have been out among the points if Robert Smith, his wins were not encumbered during the regular season. So Richardson would have been the one out. So he got lucky there. I just wanted to point that out. But anyway, those are all the point totals you see on the left of your screen. Jonathan Fast has the most so far to start off the season, to start off the playoffs, and the rest on the left of your screen. And of course, a playoff driver can get into the next round of the playoffs automatically, regardless of where he or she finishes in the end of the round in terms of playoff points. That playoff driver gets into the next round automatically with a win during the playoff races. So that rule still isn't applied, and the playoff points, whatever they acquired, carry over round to round. So the bottom 4 are eliminated, and the remaining drivers, the remaining 12 in the second round, will get another 1,000 points on top of the playoff points they've already earned here in the playoffs so far up to this point. So there are 3 rounds. There are going to be 4 rounds of the playoffs for the Cup Series: 16, 12, 8, and then 4. And of course, the X and Truck Series playoffs are a bit different. They both last only 3 rounds, but the X Series will only be 12, 8, and 4, and the Truck Series will only be 8, 6, and 4. And all those regular season finales for all 3 series will be, by the way, at Zen Joltis. So let's look at the schedule right now. You can see the playoff schedule for the first round on the left of your screen. Indianapolis will be the opening race of the playoffs, and then it'll be followed by Richmond, and Las Vegas will be the first cutoff race. 4 drivers will be eliminated. It'll be down to 12, starting in Sawmill, then Texas and Phoenix, and then it'll be down after Phoenix. It'll be down to 8, And we'll be going to Talladega, Orlando, and Coca-Cola for the final 8. And the final 4 out of those 8 will be racing at Zen Joltis, winner take all title. And there you see the X and Truck Series remaining races in the middle and on the right. The X Series will have a doubleheader with the Cup Series at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but it's not going to be a playoff race for the X Series. Neither will Richmond and Las Vegas. But Las Vegas, however, will be the regular season finale for the X Series, along with the Truck Series as well. They'll have the regular season finale at that track as well. Indianapolis, Richmond, it'll be dual weekends for the Cup Series, and the Truck Series will have a race in Chicago Motor Speedway, the only series that goes to Chicago Motor Speedway this season. So the Truck Series will have a bonus race there at CMS at Chicago Motor Speedway, the old one we tried out in the Pokemon Indy Series, and of course, yeah, we'll have it along with the doubleheader of the Indy weekend. And then Las Vegas will determine who's in the playoffs for the X Series and Truck Series. And Las Vegas will be the end of the first round for the Cup Series. 12 drivers will remain. And of course, 8 truck drivers will race for the playoffs, and 12 will race for the X Series playoffs. And X Series playoffs, by the way, and Truck Series playoffs as well, they'll both start at Old Spice Speedway, the road course, and then go to Texas and Phoenix, and that'll be the end of their first round. Their second round all take place in Talladega, Pensacola, and Armory Digital. And finally, the championship will be determined for those series at Zen Joltis. All 3 series will have champions determined at Zen Joltis. So that's going to be a sure fun weekend to do. But we got to go through all these races first. But anyway, here's one final look at the regular season points in the Pokemon Cup Series. We will measure points regular season as well for the X Series and the Truck Series. So we will have that as well. So anyway, that's your final look in points. You can pause the video to find where you stand in the point standings. And so that's it for us here at Motegi. And we will see you guys next weekend. The Chicago race will be for the Truck Series. And, of course, the doubleheader weekend in Indianapolis with the playoff opening race for the Cup Series there as well. That's my time to say good night, guys. And this is Pichu London. Good luck to every driver in the series. And in the playoffs especially. And we'll see you guys later.